What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the MoodyPlayz cast. I'm your host, MoodyPlayz, or Jarrett Moody, and today I am here with um, Brayden. Brayden,
Hello.
or Mountain Media, however he wants to be preferred to be called. I do not.
Well, whenever I start uploading, then I don't really care.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. But yes, I am here with Brayden. You guys probably remember him from some of my videos. I'm not sure how many exactly he's been in, but he's been in, I think, a handful. So, yeah. That will hopefully we'll be in more though, so we'll just go for that. But yeah, Brayden, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. What about you? What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Just been hanging out, just working on my show and whatnot. Um,
Naturally.
but yeah, we're here with you today because I wanted to talk to you. I've never really talked to you a whole lot about like the stuff you do in your free time because I know you are a huge disc golf player. Um, that is your thing.
I'm trying to be.
Trying to be. You're definitely bigger than I think the rest of the friend group, arguably. Um,
Oh no, yeah, definitely. But
yeah, but
um,
so let's just go and hop right in on that. What is your goal with disc golfing?
well, right now, I'm just trying to work on consistency. I've got the power to throw just about as far as even some of the pro players. I think I could use a little more, but ultimately, I think it comes down to my consistency on like tight fairways or putting. Because drive for show, putting for dough. Um, so ultimately, I think if I get that down, that's going to be the biggest way to take strokes off my game.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. So for the ones at home who aren't entirely informed, what exactly is like disc golfing?
Well, it's basically just traditional just ball golf, but instead of using like an entire green, most of these courses are set up in public parks, so they're actually a lot easier to access. You actually don't even have to pay to play. All you need is just to bring your own equipment. Um, and you throw basically just at a basket, and you try to get it in as few strokes as possible, like normal golf. Um, and that's pretty much it, really, except instead of having like tall grass or like bunkers as your obstacles, it'll just be like trees. So there's like a lot more vegetation and plants. So it's arguably even better for the environment.
Sweet. Would you say it's more expensive to play normal golf than it is disc golf, or
Oh,
would
yes, by far.
because with disc golf you'll still have like a handful of drivers, putters, and all those, but instead of having to
Right.
pay for like a couple grand at most, or even like a couple $100, driver, a couple $100 putter, and all like the really expensive like clubs, you'd just be paying for some discs instead, which are
Right.
still of expense for sure, because instead of losing balls, you'd be losing a whole driver, or
Right. And to that, I mean, it's more of just like I don't know how much golf balls are now. You could probably get like $20 for like a 16 pack or something like that.
of like the really kind of like the
Um,
medium quality ones, yeah.
Right, right. And then the clubs themselves are easily a few $100s. Meanwhile, just like a good medium quality uh, disc golf, like you could even use like a low quality for casual. Um, for disc golf would cost you maybe 10, $15 per disc. Um, so to get kitted out with like five or six, it still puts you under $100. Um, and that should last you for a pretty good while. Um, and then you'll figure out what you like, what you don't like. And I mean, there's an expense in learning and figuring out your style, but I would say for sure it's definitely at least initially, if not in the absolute long term, because I don't know how often you replace your clubs in traditional golf. Um, but if that is any sort of frequency at all, then I think that disc golf would be the cheaper option.
Yeah,
It's actually a massively growing sport. Like back in the 70s, there were only two courses in the United States, and now there's over 2,000.
yeah, I remember you mentioning that before, saying it was a growing sport. Um,
It's huge. Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, because you've taken us the friend group a few times, and even then Caleb has some disc golfs of his own, and
Right.
all that stuff. So we've gone a few times, and I have to borrow some of your stuff. I think I sunk one in like a creek, and I had to go fish that out. So yeah,
Yeah, something like that. But
it's
it's a learning curve.
of course, and so
I'd
yeah, are
I'd
you
say
wanting
really the
to?
biggest thing about it is that a lot of things that people don't really understand is that it actually gets a lot more technical than people think.
I mean, I feel like a lot of sports do in the end. Like people think, oh,
That's
like
true.
with golf, it's like, oh, you hit a ball and you aim for the hole. When a lot of times it's like with
Right,
traditional
but you
golf,
also
it's
have
you gotta like
to
account for
spin and
wind,
the hooking and
spin.
slicing. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's with also disc golf, it's the same way. You have to account for like wind, how like where you want to
win,
throw
and
it,
then
how
you
you're gonna
have
curve
like
it, and
right, and not only that, but like your release point, the angle, and then what the disc itself does. Because some go to the left, some go to the right. Potato, potato, blah blah blah. But it's a lot of things that people don't really consider. It's more of just a haha, plastic go far.
yeah, for sure, it's definitely one of those things. So, what do you see yourself doing with disc golf? Do you see it being more of a hobby, or are you wanting to take it a little bit further than that?
Well, it ultimately depends on how it ends up going. For example, if I were to shave about 6 strokes off my game, which is about 10% better, uh, I would actually have a score that would be pretty close to some of the pro players. So with that, I could actually like start touring and get sponsorships and things like that. So that's definitely something that I consider. Um, but then again, a lot of my game that I'm lacking right now is all mental. Um, and without going out, 6, even 7 times a week, playing multiple rounds in a day, it can be difficult to gain that consistency quickly. But that being said, a lot of the pros that are out there are in their like late 30s. I think they have families, like they're all set and they're still out touring, playing like crazy, and they're still making like excess of 200K a year. And so like they're definitely making it. So if I had that opportunity, then yeah, for sure I'll take it. But at the same time, I won't be putting school on the side just for that potential, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I
So like in the meantime, it's a hobby, but if I see that opportunity, then oh yeah, I'll jump on it.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, in the same constant, like everyone kind of has a hobby that could, if they're really good at it, there's a chance that they could take it a little bit further.
Right.
And I feel like with you, for sure, there's definitely opportunity there if you like go to tournaments and competitions more. Like even then, you may have to commit a little bit further to putting down a little extra cash to take the travel to actually go somewhere to put your
Right.
name out. Because like in a lot of
Well, yeah, but
senses,
once I do, the sponsors will definitely see that, or they're like the big companies will put that out there, and they'll be like, hey, this guy's actually doing something. Let's, if he reaches out to us, maybe we'll do something for him. Which I would say is actually my biggest hindrance to my sponsorship status would be I have like no media following because I just never upload.
and that's all right.
Um,
Media following is always one of those things that you can start. Like with your case, since you're getting better, granted, people also like to see a little bit of failure, and for them, it's also too you can also show like your one occasional like tanking it into a creek, because then everyone's like, oh
yeah,
yeah, this guy isn't just trying to look perfect.
it's not just the highlight reels.
Yeah, so you could definitely even then start now, because I know you have a Instagram for your disc golf,
Right.
um, and you can
I didn't even post about my ace yet.
yeah, like you definitely want to like you the best thing to do is like set up a small tripod or like attach it to a tree and just show you like hitting those like crazy drives and stuff like that. And at the same
The
time post
main
a few
thing for
fails.
that, yeah, for sure. But the main issue with that is trying to find like a lens or like a focus that works so that they can see like the form and the release of the shot, but also the disc all the way down the fairway, without having someone else there to like zoom in, or it being like super choppy and really bad looking.
It's true. Very true.
Um, I would say that's probably the biggest challenge in terms of just like recording around. Like I can post like a long putt that I make or something, or just show like technique on a drive and then post a like in editing add like a photo of where the disc landed or something.
Well, yeah. It's always like
But
for a
it's
lot of
just a
things,
matter
it's
of
always
doing it.
it's a matter of figuring everything out.
Right.
It's but yeah, I mean for sure, it's one of those things for you. You are like from what I've seen, you do extremely well in disc golf, and that will be one of those things where it's at the time it's like you gotta start a social following, and just make it. The best thing you can do is just make a public profile, have your name on it, and just have occasionally, like I would even say just once a week, pick like if you play like twice a week, pick like a really good drive or you can hand put in. I think you have like an app you can track all your stuff and like just
Right.
post like, hey, I hit this week, and just like start following disc golfing accounts and just because some of them will look at it. Hashtags are a huge thing too. People will look at
True.
hashtags. So like if you just have just like hashtag disc golf on it, people will just go to that hashtag because you can follow hashtags on Instagram and
Right.
just like you can see posts from that hashtag for like the past week. And I know for definitely sponsors will look at that. And even that when you just start growing, then because you always can turn people down. Granted, you can always
Right.
say, oh, I don't want to go there just yet. And they'll make them, sometimes they'll make them want you more. Because they're like, well, what can we do for you to come to us immediately, like right now?
See, it's the weird thing is like right now, I'm a lefty for those listening that don't know. But basically every pro on tour is right-handed, so I don't know if they're looking at me like, oh man, this guy's a disadvantage, or if they're like, hey, maybe this guy can really kill it on a couple courses that are harder for the righties.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's one of those things that where if most of the pros are right-handed, and all of a sudden they see you having a score relatively close, like maybe one or two off of like a pro score, and you're left-handed, they can look
Oh,
at
they'll
that and
definitely take it.
they'll be like, oh, this guy's got something, and they'll be like, well, there's definitely every like right-handed player has a struggle on this course, and then they see you
But then if I come out, kick
blow
it
it out of the
yeah,
water, yeah, like they'll be
bend
like,
it like
oh damn,
Beckham.
yeah, get him, like get this dude.
I also like I hurt my left arm not too long ago. I don't know what it was, but it was like my left forearm, and every time I tried to throw like a sidearm shot, um, it just hurt like bad. Like at first it started feeling kind of like tension, but eventually just got to the point to where it would actually hurt just applying any sort of small pressure. So I've taken the last few days off, and I took today to clean some of the rust off, and my drives were not great. Um, that being said, I still crushed a couple that went really far. Like I think I'm getting close to breaking the 500-foot marker um, on just like a really good throw. Like not consistent, but up there. I'd say I can hit like 450 consistently. Um, but my upshots for basically the corrections for my drive, because my drive would end up too far left or too far right, or I'd accidentally hit a tree and bounce off to the side or something.
Right.
Those were on fire today. Just those technical little layup shots, just nice and slow and floaty. And I think I was trying to put that into some of my drives, which just ultimately didn't end up working out. But I'm also coming back off of like nearly a week of not playing, so I'm getting the rust off. And naturally, with it being Oklahoma, just crazy wind all the time, changing and gusting, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. So adjusting for that too is something else that I'm also working on. But it's getting better. I've noticed because I think I finished today at like +1 on one of the longer courses. I even got an eagle today.
Oh, nice.
I got a 2 on a par 4. It's like a 500-foot hole. And I think I hit that one at about 470 feet, and then I had a long putt into the basket. So definitely doing good there. It's just a matter of those tighter shots and the consistency. But for those of you at home wondering, like, what the heck is this guy talking about? There's one guy who I really like. He's actually the guy that I get a lot of my inspiration from. His name is Simon Lizotte, and he's sponsored by Discmania, which is also my favorite manufacturer of discs. and he does a lot of vlogs where he does like these trick shot kind of shots, and he also explains himself. So it's very fun to watch, but also educational. So if anyone's curious about like disc golf, I would say that that's really the way to go. Um, but there's just so many different ways to do things now. There's just so many people getting into it that there's no real one answer. Because everyone can play a hole a different way and still get a birdie.
For sure, for sure. So moving aside from the disc golf we've been talking about for 20 minutes, we could come back to it at the very end, of course. You started a YouTube channel called Mountain Media. What is that all about?
So, I started the channel, but I haven't really uploaded yet because I haven't decided on the initial content that I want to put on there because I don't want to rush that video. I want that to be I guess a good pilot, if you will, into the gaming part at least of what I want that channel to be. But the channel itself, I didn't call it like Mountain Gaming because I don't want it just to be gaming. There will be some vlogs, mostly disc golf, like we kind of talked about, or just other things I end up having to do. If people, for say, end up liking a series where I go work out with a buddy, or just going on jogs or something with like relaxing music in the background, or like ASMR or something like that, I would definitely consider doing those things. It's just a matter of getting the foot in the door, but also not sending the wrong impression.
For sure. I mean, the first video is always going to be one of the hardest. My first video on the channel is no longer there. It's privated now. But it was literally, it's a video of me just playing, I think it was me playing, I think it was Payday 2, and it was me just doing a certain mission. And it was just me talking, because that's just the only content I was able to make. It was all edited on my PS4, uploaded off my PS4. The thumbnail was literally just the first 2 seconds. It was so
just
bad.
A screenshot of the footage.
So and that's what it's gonna be. Because your first, granted, you also have, I'm not trying to but you have me to help. You have other people who know content. You have people in the industry per se to help you out with the first video.
Yeah, and people who understand editing and things like that.
For sure, and it's definitely one of those things that you don't need to have a singular first video. If you want to post 5 videos, have them all scheduled to go out on the same day, and you can have one of every single kind of content you're planning on making, and you can even have that as your first step into
the intro series.
Yeah, and you can have this is what I have planned here, 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 and here, and then you can just upload videos to all those playlists individually.
Gotcha.
It's definitely one of those things because say you have 5 categories, like you said, workout videos, vlogs. You can have one which is a day, a day for disc golf for me, one of those kind of things where it's just what a typical day on disc golfing would be, and then you can have I don't know what you had planned for workout videos or whatever, and then a gaming video can just be a funny moment. So you can have 3 sub categories, all go out and then whenever you need. So,
because for the gaming, I mostly want it to be in the style of Game Grumps.
Yeah,
it's less about the quality commentary, or sorry, less about the quality of the gameplay, but more about the commentary. So I guess also similar to a Vanos gaming style, to where they're not top-notch players, but they're really goofy and funny. I think that's what draws a lot of people to them in the end. And that being said, I've got some sweaty friends who play the games that I like to play. So Brendan and Caleb in DVD. I've got Derek and another guy in Rocket League. So I can mostly joke around and stuff, and still contribute to the game. Not be I might bottom frag or something, but it won't be this guy is absolute trash just getting carried the entire time. So, I mean, there will be, some good gameplay moments. Might release a highlight reel just every now and then, but, or, stream highlights or something. But ultimately, it'll just be, goofing around with the guys.
For sure. And you...
just kind of extending that friend group, I guess.
You have a really big preference, I guess, skill base in Rocket League as well. I would say Rocket League and disc golf, all they go hand in hand. Like you've practiced for a while, you know what you're doing, you have like the strategies down. A lot of the time in Rocket League, you are hindered by the players on your team,
Right.
for sure. So you definitely have like your friends Derek and stuff like that to help. Would you say like that would be also something for you potentially to do as well? Take further.
I don't think I'd be good enough to really go like pro in Rocket League, but for say if I go to uh, the college that I plan to transfer to, and they're like, "Hey, you're good enough that we'd give you some scholarship money to be on our Rocket League team." Yeah, absolutely. Um, but that being said, I'm not gonna go grind it for hours and hours a day to improve mechanics and all that stuff. But it is still fun to play with the guys, and I learn new things every now and then. But I don't go out of my way to like actively practice. Like the practice mostly just comes from like online casual games, just trying stuff.
For sure, and that's a lot of the time where a lot of games practice does come from. For instance, I was trying to get into competitive Overwatch, and really not having a team hindered me there. But
Oh, no kidding.
it was really fun to um, take time to like go into casuals and have fun talking with people and just practicing because
Just goofing around, trying
I'm a
stuff out.
I anytime it comes to any of those games like TF2, Overwatch, I tend to stay on the support side of things because
Right.
I don't want to have the whole team on my back carrying a DPS, but I don't really understand the whole concept of a tanking system yet. I know I'm going to take damage, but that also probably lacks when it comes to I don't have a good support. So I'm always like well, let me be the good support. And when I play Overwatch, I may have really high 9, 10,000 heal games on the norm, which is great because that's just what I specialize in, I would say. Um, in times like this where I don't know really what I'm going to do, I step away from the games. So I may come back and suck again, but like you said, you got to like knock the rust off eventually.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's gonna suck for a little bit, but like one of the YouTubers for Rocket League that I watch, that they actually explained it as like a process that everyone goes through, and I find that this relates to everything that I do. So there's like the holy crap, I'm so trash at this game, I'm garbage. Why am I even playing? Why do I bother? And then there's the okay, I'm doing all right. And then you just have like a week or two of just I am a freaking beast and no one can stop me, and then it just hard resets back to the poo mode. But what actually happens is that what you think is the poo mode is actually the I'm okay stage from before, and you're just getting better, and your expectations are higher. So you effectively just blew yourself into trying to perform at a higher standard.
Gotcha. That makes sense for sure.
Yeah, it's like weird to think about at first, but then like later you do it, and you're like, okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Because I
So
especially noticed that in Rocket League with some of the clips that I saved.
Rocket League is one of those games where I try to get into. Never really could get the hang of it. Definitely have tried multiple times to get back into it. But I typically play well, even then I'll play goalie, which is a very supportive kind of role. Not really up in the front trying to knock the ball into the goal. I definitely try and sit
Well,
back and
the way that the game has actually evolved, that being a dedicated position actually just isn't as good anymore. Now there's just like rotations. And if you don't rotate, then they can exploit that. Um, and I can actually show you how to do some of that later. But just it's a little bit different game sense than it used to be back when you first tried to join. And with that being said, really a lot of the way that you can beat the player base isn't necessarily through skill as much as it is just through positioning yourself in like such a way um, that you really just cut off their options. And it's crazy because you have some of these pro players like Lethamir, who I guess isn't technically pro right now, but he can still beat a lot of pro players who he's not nearly as mechanical as, but he just the strategy there is just overwhelming.
nice. I definitely don't. I don't watch a whole lot of Rocket League. I've almost said Overwatch. I don't play a whole lot of watch a whole lot of Rocket League, but some of the stuff I see them players doing, I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
I mostly watch Lethamyr and Pulsefire. Pulsefire because he does goofy mechanic stuff and he's funny, but Lethamyr because he actually makes a lot of maps with like alternate objectives and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like he'll add water, or he makes like maps where every time you score, you play on a different hole, so it's like golf, and it's crazy stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah. So, when it comes down to it, what do you think you'd be posting a lot more of on your channel overall when it comes to games?
Obviously Rocket League, but like probably some less serious stuff, just casual games farting around. Occasionally like a tournament. I'd probably be also streaming that a fair amount. Hopefully some DBD with the guys, because I think that's hilarious. Hopefully we could get a fifth to add to just do like an entirely private match, because I think that'd be fun to hear the killers' reactions to some of the crap that we do. And I was actually hoping that at some point we could set up like the proximity chat in Among Us and try some of that stuff.
Yes,
even though
I've
it's
been wanting to
late,
play that too.
like, right? And even with the mods and stuff, like I know it's late, but I still think it'd be really fun to do, especially trying to figure it out.
Well, they definitely are about to release. I think either they have released or they're about to release the new map, the Skyship map, whatever it's called, Skybase, something like that.
They did release it. I saw another YouTuber was live streaming it. I'm just like, geez, you guys are already grinding it. Holy crap. I don't want to be one of those guys. Just have to do it the second it comes out. I'd rather take the time to get the quality of the content rather than being like, I did it first.
Yeah, it's definitely because at the end of the day, it's all about statistics and just where you are when the stuff comes out.
I get that, but at the same time, I think I would rather have the lower sub count but higher retention. Just because like the viewers actually enjoy the content more. Like I would personally have that over than like 5 million views, but you know, like 99% of them clicked away after a minute and a half because they're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's definitely like I have my fair share of pretty consistent viewership. I range from about like 50 to 30 subs per vid, which is really good for my sub count. It shows me about a fifth of my subs are there, and even then, that typically is about the average for a lower channel because a lot of your viewers are going to retain and be there through all of it from the beginning to the very end.
Right.
And you said you wanted to go with a Game Grumps style, and the Game Grumps style of content is really funny. It's very far-fetched from the gameplay, and so focused on just the commentary that I never really watched a Game Grumps stream. So is it like they're kind of sitting around in like a little gaming area and they're kind of talking among each other, or is it like they're all online just talking like on a Discord like we do?
Well, recently it's been the latter on like Discord just because of Rona and that stuff.
Because are they based out of Cali? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, they didn't used to be. I know Aaron grew up in Kansas and Dan grew up in Philly and then moved to New York and then moved to California. But to have all those different experiences and cultures and stuff. And then they moved to Cali, so they get to experience yet another. So there's like so much to talk about, and with the traveling and all, I think that'd be something that'd be fun to do. It's like a vlog with the guys, like if we go on another like summer trip or something.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely was gonna bring that up. But with the would you ever vlog like one of our trips? Because I've wanted to. I just some of this because we don't plan. We don't. For those who don't know. Brayden and I and the other rest of the friend group were in the same band, and when we go on trips, everything was down like every
like
second
band, not
was
like metal band.
We were in a school band, and everything every second was planned, was pinpoint, was like we had to be here at 7:43 p.m. We had to be here, and it was just like it was fun, but it was just like it was the nitty gritty of like, oh god, if I'm 2 seconds late, I'm gonna get
Yeah,
expelled.
sorry guys, we can't get off the buses for another 42 seconds.
Yeah, like it's just so pinpoint. So with our friend group, we immediately are gonna go, all right, what's the polar opposite of banned? Which was, hey, let's not plan a single thing when we get down there.
Hey, do you guys want to go to Branson in 2 weeks?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
cool. Let's find a hotel. All right.
Yeah, like we had to like find a hotel.
And then we get there. Then after we go to Silver Dollar, we're like, all right, what do we want to do? And we're like, whoa.
And granted, that makes it fun too because it's just in the same instance,
There's a mystery there.
there's a mystery to it. Yeah, like fucking finding,
Like
getting
we had an
basted.
idea, we'd be like, oh, we'll check out some restaurants, or we'll go, like we'll do some mini golf or something, or go kart racing. But one thing that we were like trying to do is like, oh hey, here's like an alpine kart thing that we don't have nearby where we live. So we went to try that, and that was actually really fun. And I actually have a GoPro video of that, and it's really cringy because I tried to do like some commentary, and it was really, really bad. It was
Yeah.
actually terrible.
Vlogging is definitely one of those things where you gotta kind of figure out what you do. Like for me, haven't posted a vlog in forever because I've vlogged the band trips, which is really
Right.
interesting because my first band trip trip vlog, if I could speak, has like 270 something views because everyone in band is like, oh my god, you vlogged? Let me see it, and like a good like handful of band kids watched the band video, including all of our section of percussion, which is really cool. We and like I said, once we definitely go on trips because I want to go to places like certain places and be there and experience it, and definitely vlog a little bit of it. Don't want to vlog the whole thing because that kind of takes away from the experience.
Right.
Because vlogging is one of those things where like I don't enjoy people who vlog their entire life and try to make sure that everything gets on camera because you're missing out on certain things when you do that. And that's
Right.
what I worry
And that's
about.
one thing I don't want to do.
Right.
Especially with vlogging.
With like highlight reels and stuff like that, like of trips, which I like those because it's like, oh, let me quickly stop and get a video of this. And it's like, okay, cool, that makes more sense.
Like, oh, let me do slow mo and just like spin in a circle so you get like a panoramic, or like something like that. You know, instead of like, here's me recording myself going on a roller coaster. You know, just like, no, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will.
I'm not quite that way. I know some people do that, but I'm assuming that those people also drink way too much soy milk for their own health.
Yeah. That and probably
Yeah.
kombucha.
I don't know what kombucha is, but it smells like butt, and I accidentally busted like 3 bottles in the cooler at Target the other day. I felt really bad.
Way to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There was one thing I wanted to mention because I know this friend group has been on a step count or a mile, like a walking kick recently. With tracking how much we can go and all that stuff. There is a site, I believe, let me pull it up here on my phone. I have the app. It's called The Conqueror. And what it is you can pay like $30, and what you do is it tracks your steps, and pretty much you try to walk these paths that they have mapped out. And it's all virtual. It tracks on the app on your phone or your watch or whatever. And so, for instance, there is the Giza Pyramids, which is 46.4 miles. And what you do is you say, well, I think I can walk that 46 point so miles in a week or in 2 weeks. And what you do is if you beat your record, they send you a medal of there's a medal for every single path that they have, and they look really damn cool. And they also like the Conqueror, and it tells you on there how many miles you walked, and has like a little cool design. And with these there's tons. There's at least like 15 or 16 of these. There is one, and I really want us to try it, and I think we all need to chip in. Well, not chip in, but we all need to pay for it because, like I said, it's only like $30. The entire Route 66, 2,200 miles. You have to. You can.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the website right now to see these medals. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the look of this.
Yeah. It.
Um,
And they plant trees for I think it's every landmark that you hit. And like for instance, like when you like say if you walk the Panama, not the Panama Canal, there's another like there's some sort of like canal I think, and there's like way like you can do a street view of like where you would be if you were to walk these paths, and they think they plant a tree for like every single mark you hit, which is also really cool. So your money's not just going into getting this medal; it's also going part of it's probably also going into getting a tree to be
every
planted.
every 20% of the challenge you complete. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, and the medals look really stinking cool as well. And I definitely think it's one of these things where we plan like, hey, let's all try to go for the Route 66 challenge this month. Like we say, I think we can get this done in 30 days. Now there's options for co-op and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if every single person gets a medal or if it's one medal for the whole team. So it'd be really cool to see because if we wanted to, we can do this multiple times. We can pay to do the Route 66 again, and we can try and see if we can hit a record as a co-op team. Get the whole thing. I don't know if it's like one person or like you can have one more person or three more people. It'd be really cool to see what we can do.
Oh, for sure. Because I'm trying to look at my statistics now. And in the last month, I've averaged just shy of 20,000 steps a day,
Yeah, it's crazy how much you actually walk because like
which
my
is
phone.
just shy of 10 miles.
Yeah, my phone tracks a lot. So it tracks how much I like pace back and forth at work. For my job, I pace in a hallway all day long. So it would be really cool to see because with apparently with Apple it pairs really well. I think Android's having some issues. I'll talk with you after the cast to let you know what app you might need. I have a buddy who tried to get it, and Android was a little bit finicky with it because he has Android. So we'll see, or like Samsung or whatever. Not Apple, I should say, because you have like the OnePlus 7, I think, right?
Yeah, I have the OnePlus 8 Pro.
OnePlus 8, right? But yeah, so yeah, that'd be totally cool because I'm not saying like fitness, we're on a fitness kick, but it's definitely cool to have the competition of like, hey, like Brendan, like, hey Brayden, I saw you you missed out on 1,000 steps, and you'd be like, yeah, well I fucking died, so can't get that 1,000 steps. And,
I um I also do have an answer for your medal question.
yes.
So every team member is required to buy their own entry, and
Okay.
each member will also receive their own medal.
Oh, okay, cool. So we
So
totally
you
could.
share the distance that you work with the other people on your team.
Oh, sweet. So we totally could just knock it out and be like, hey, let's all go for a Route 66 entry as a cooperative team, because
So yeah, we can see our team achievement and also like how much people individually have gone. So I can be like, "Yo, Jared,
you're
you're
lacking.
kind of slacking here. Can you help us out more?"
Because I'm planning on going. I'm planning on knocking out some of these smaller ones, and then going for the big boy. Because I think Route 66 is the biggest. I haven't looked just yet.
I'll double check that for you.
But yeah, no, it's a
70
cool
bucks.
concept.
Oh, for entry, medal, and apparel.
Yeah, so you can have the option for just a medal and entry, or you have an apparel.
That's 40.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm really excited because I'm definitely going to pick this up, and I'm also starting a new schedule, a new personal schedule, not a work schedule, but a new personal schedule Friday. So I'm going to be trying to wake up earlier, getting more stuff done before I go to work instead of just waking up and going to work. Because in my head, I don't feel like I'm treating myself the best, so I want to kind of start treating myself a little bit better.
Right.
So this will be one of those things where I'll wake up, eat some breakfast, go on a walk or work out for a little bit, come back, hop in the shower, and get ready for work, and then go. So
There is one challenge that's longer, but they say it's new. I don't know how new, but there's new.
oh yeah, I think I saw that one. I didn't read the distance, so but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the Route 66 is 2280. The Pacific Crest Trail is
Yes.
2485. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
205 miles longer.
but for sure, the Route 66 medal. I'll post a picture on screen right now because I have a cool idea of what I'm going to do for the image, the
It
still
looks
image that's going to
sick.
run. But yeah, it's a massive flag with a bald eagle, wings like with its wings spanned all the way out on the front. It looks really freaking dope. But yeah, no. So this is definitely one of those things where I'm gonna start it. Hopefully pitching it to you. Maybe you'd pitch. Maybe you try to do one or two. But my goal is to have at least. I want to have at least 3 of these medals. There's three of them that I really like. They look really cool. One being the Route 66, the Giza pyramids, and I believe I forgot which one it is. I want to say it's the Mount Pichu, but that one looks really cool too. Those are the three that I want out of all of them, and that's about $90 roughly for three medals. And at the end of it, I feel like I've accomplished something because I've walked over like a grand total of like 2,500 miles or something along those lines. So
I'm looking for the other medal you mentioned.
the Pichu. Let me see. Let's find it here. No. Fuji. Mount Fuji. My bad.
Oh, gotcha.
Mount Fuji. That one looks pretty cool. So yeah, those three.
True.
I'll put those on screen as well, so you guys can see them. And I'll leave a link in the description as well to this website. I think that's a really cool concept. My friend introduced me to it, and so yeah. To go ahead and we'll start wrapping up because we're about 45 minutes in. So yeah, disc golfing definitely one of your big hobbies. You've got potential, man. There. Oh my God, if I can speak. You got potential there, man. It can totally.
I sure hope so.
You totally can take that more. It's just getting the social up and running again and stuff like that.
And I think another limit is just like physical capability, which is why I'm also working out more. That's why I always try to do at least some sort of like arms or shoulder every time I work out, just to increase my capacity. But in a way, I think it also helps with control. It's like controlling power. So I'm not just absolutely launching it or only sending it 200 feet.
Right.
So I can get in between.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, disc golf, also with your channel in Rocket League. Definitely Rocket League being one of your better games you play. But you're not wanting to take it much further, which is all right. But hey, sometimes those people are just really good and they just have a YouTube channel where they just show off. So that's definitely somewhere you could take it.
I mean, statistically, I'm already like top 15% of the player base, but
there you go.
I would need to effectively quadruple my hours in game to reach the
top 14.
Really good. Well, not necessarily top 14, but like the top 5, which would be your people like Sunless Khan, Lethamir, Squishy, Musty,
sure.
people like that, like the big names.
For sure. So
Lethamir is easily top 1%.
What we're talking about is YouTube and stuff. I'll also leave that in the description. Go subscribe to Mountain Media. If you haven't already, I know some of you know us personally, so if you haven't already, go sub to Mountain Media. No videos yet, but he's planning on it. We're working on it. We're working as a team. MoodyPlayz Network and Mountain Media collaboration going on.
Hopefully we'll be doing some streams, some collabs there together.
For sure. You said you stream on Twitch, right?
Twitch. I might end up going YouTube. It all depends.
For sure. Definitely Twitch and YouTube have there's pros and cons to both sides. Harder to have a community with both. You're gonna have community on one, community on the other. So
yeah,
mainstream on both. Just you're so new that you can do that. So no partnership issues there. And yeah, with but all of us try to make ourselves a little bit better, working out and stuff like that. It's a good time. We're all living. We're all peaking in life.
We're straight vibing.
We living. But yeah, Brayden, if there's anything you want to shout out, go right ahead. Your socials, your channel already shouted out, so go right ahead.
I gotta get my freaking.
Gotta pull up your handle.
Yeah, because I don't use Twitter because that's dumb, overrated. A bunch of idiots on there nowadays.
I literally only have a Twitter that's public because I had to like pair to my YouTube, so notify everyone that when I had a YouTube video go live on Twitter to my 3 followers. So
my Instagram handle is VernonPDGA127736. I'll message that to Jerry so you can put that on screen. And the 127736 is just my PDGA number. So nothing too incredibly significant, but that's just what I chose for my handle to log in so I can remember. But yeah, I'll be trying to get more active in the online community and doing more tournaments even just to see how I place nowadays.
For sure.
Might be trying to play some higher ranks as I get my scores up.
Heck yeah. and and just gonna hop back a little bit. Your social media presence is quite important for stuff like right now. You don't have that presence, and all of a sudden, some random person just finds you, says, "Hey, look at this dude I found on Twitter or found on Instagram, found on YouTube," and next thing you know, you're exploding, and now you have like, well, now I have to have a social media presence because people need to know how to find me and all this stuff, and having it already out there makes it a little bit easier on you in the long term.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah, it's just something I always procrastinate because I just don't want to be that guy who puts out stupid content. But I guess in the end, it's always going to seem stupid.
it's going to seem stupid to you, but not to others. That's what I always think. Like when I posted my arena video just a couple days ago, yesterday or so, I first was a little skeptical about it, but then I was like, you know what? I got to post this. I got to reveal to the world the arena is coming soon. We're working. We're getting there. We're getting farther.
Oh, for sure.
So
And it's coming along great, honestly. Like, for real.
yeah, we're working. We're getting there. Brayden's in it. Y'all see him in it. He makes a little appearance. So
Got a little blooper reel.
yeah, I got a lot of blooper reel. There's a lot
Got
of
that
that.
clip.
That one clip.
That one clip. You'll
But
know when you see it.
you'll know. But yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming on, Brayden. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I love having people on, interviewing them, learning a little bit more about the inner recesses of their mind. Because at the end of the day, how well do you truly know your friends? Sit down, have a talk with them. It doesn't have to be interview style, but just be like,
Sit down. Waterboard them.
lay
Threaten their family.
pin them to the ground, throw a towel on their face, make them beg for life.
Put on a Batman mask. Where is she?
Thought I was about to say. I was like, where is she? But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like I said, all of his stuff will be on screen and in the links in the description, as well as the Conquer thing we talked about earlier. We're definitely gonna be hopping on that, and I'll be keeping you all posted on that when I start taking those and doing those challenges and posting those on my Insta. Those are listed below. If you want to learn about more on the arena, I also have that listed below. My web show I'm doing, 5-episode for 1 season. If it does good, we may do another. Who knows? We're talking about it, but then again, it's up to you guys how well you guys like it. And thank you for watching and listening to this episode, making this far. If you want to listen to me ramble and talk with Luke and Logan, that'll be the first episode, so go check that out as well. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming on, Brayden, and we will
No problem.
we'll see you next time.